Hi, guys. My name is Anand. Welcome to the Very Serious Business Podcast. Today with me, I have Ryan, who is the founder of Linderball, a very cool, innovative outdoor product. Ryan, why don't you kind of introduce yourself and tell us a bit about, your company and the product?
Yeah. Okay. So my name is Ryan. I'm a current college student at Brigham Young University. I am not quite a serial entrepreneur yet, but I am a serial product designer. Um, I just love making things. So whenever I see a problem or have an idea, like the spare bedroom in my apartment is just my workshop. So I've just got like 3D printers and all kinds of random stuff that I basically just love to make stuff. So
Yeah.
a little bit about
Good.
the
Yeah,
company.
go
I
ahead.
just launched about a month ago. This was started off as just another project, just another idea I had that I was actually making for a class I was in. We learned how to make Nerf footballs, and I thought, I could make something. I could make a more fun version of this. So just started messing around with it.
Cool. Can you tell us about your classes? Like, what year are you? And then what was this class that had such a cool project that you did this?
Yeah. So I'm in my third year right now. I'm a technology and engineering studies technical track major, which I think is way too long of a name for a major.
Yeah.
It's too many syllables, yeah. And no one actually knows what that means. They're like, "Oh, okay, so you're doing like
Engineering.
engineering stuff." I was like, "Yeah, kind of." My major is actually more focused on education, so it's like someone that wants to be a wood shop teacher or a tech teacher in junior high or high school would be in this major. So
Oh,
it's kind of a generalist major.
cool. Yeah.
So basically, the classes I take are just about how to work in different mediums and make different types of things. So I was in a class where we were learning like metals and plastics. So we learned how to weld. Like I've got the table this is sitting on right now is the table I welded in that class.
Can you show us real
And
quick or not? Like the
yeah, yeah.
table? Yeah, cool.
Actually, I love this design. This was my own design. It is wood and metal. So I welded this frame and then
Wow.
inlaid walnut in the middle of it to create this little like couch side table.
Very like tastefully done. I like it.
Ah, thanks.
Um, is there a little ridge on the edge or is it like completely flat, like all the way across?
Yeah, I went with a little ridge just so it keeps stuff from like rolling off here.
Yeah.
And I liked the having the wood kind of embedded. It's kind of just sandwiched in the middle between the top and the bottom there.
Yeah. Was that for class two or was that just like you thought it'd be cool to do?
Yeah, that was my final project for the class where I learned how to weld. They basically said like, okay, now go make whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I wanted a little like couch side table.
So did you know, like, do you want to, so you're still in school. Is this only your third year of college, right? You said?
Yeah.
So you were just in high school 3 years ago, right? Like,
Yeah, actually, before that, I had a couple of years where I was actually a missionary for my church. Um, so
oh,
I
nice.
graduated
Like
high school. I was doing missionary work, and strangely enough, the mission. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and
okay.
for my mission, I did what's called a service mission. So instead of like proselytizing, instead of going out and trying to like convert people, my full-time life was just like doing service, trying to help teach people about Jesus, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's cool, dude. Yeah, that's very cool. So I was thinking about doing not like on not that but like a gap year we go teach English after school something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Like you teach English overseas. Really cool though. I applaud even just like just doing that. A lot of people don't realize you can do cool stuff like that. You don't just have to go right to college and like you know follow the regular path or whatever. But I
yeah.
know that's also something you guys do. Um, but yeah, so that's really cool. Did you go into this major knowing like you wanted to start a company? And then is that why you did this?
Yeah, that's always kind of been the plan. Like I've just always thought I would get the most out of my life if I was the one creating my own work opportunities. Like if I wanted to be able to make things that would impact people's lives for good. And I think the best way for me to do that would be to just start businesses, to be able to design something and figure out how to launch it and get momentum behind it.
Yeah, very cool. Um, what did your parents? I mean, I guess were your parents like, "Oh, that's scary. You shouldn't just go in like an entrepreneurship major." Were they like, "Oh, you should do like actual engineering?" Or yeah,
Yeah. They've both been very supportive.
cool. Okay.
My mom is just like the most like loving, caring, supportive woman you've ever met. And my dad
Mm-hmm.
actually teaches business at Brigham Young
Okay.
University. And so
Oh, nice.
he supported me in that. And I think he's seen the vision. In fact, I didn't even realize until more recently, I was in a class and was doing some research on an area, and I stumbled upon a paper my dad had written and published, like a research paper. Um, and I was reading through this research paper for like a class assignment, and it said like my 8-year-old son Ryan. I was like, wait a second, that's me. How have I never heard this before? And I went through
Yeah.
and read, and there's like a whole chapter about like how when I was little, it's like Ryan loves making things, and he's probably going to go pursue one of these kind of engineering type degrees, and we'll probably design products and launch them, and we'll need to learn these skill sets and stuff. I was like, Dad, why didn't you tell me this was already like I kind of had to figure this out, but somehow you already knew.
Yeah. Oh, so you kind of figured that out about yourself on your own, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, it
Yeah.
was pretty early on. Like a lot of people, I think, spend a lot of their lives trying to figure out
Yeah.
what they want to do. And like since I was little, like I was in like sixth grade, and people kept stealing stuff from my desk, so I invented like a magnetic desk cover that I could put on to keep people from getting in, and then tried to like make and sell them to my class. So
Nice. Nice, dude. Okay. Um, did your parents encourage those little fun projects, or did you kind of just have the initiative to do them on your own? Because a lot of people do
it
have
was,
parents that are
yeah.
cool like that, and they'll encourage that.
Yeah, it was a combination, definitely. Like they
Boy.
definitely didn't hold me back. They would encourage, but a lot of it was they just kind of allowed me to figure it out. Like allowed me
Yeah.
to dive into whatever and were supportive of what I was doing.
Dude, nice. So what other kind of hustles, I mean, what other kind of cool entrepreneurial stuff did you do before Linderball?
Yeah. There have been a lot of like failed products, not necessarily failed, but ideas I didn't pursue fully. Like last
Mm-hmm.
summer, I spent all summer designing board games. Like I got really into like the idea. Like I love making games, obviously. Um,
Okay,
so
yeah.
I spent all summer designing board games and like trying to launch, figure out how to do social media and stuff. And didn't get a ton of momentum behind any of them. Like there were a couple that I would get a good number of views on a video or something, but I didn't know enough to actually like make and sell it and get the validation I needed. And also it turns out it's a really, like board games are a really tough market to get into just because it's such a saturated market.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah.
yeah, so I tried that. I've done just random other products and things here and there that I've sold in a little shop, or a lot of my work has just been design commissions where I'll find people that need help. They have an idea, but they don't know how to actually make it. And so I'll walk them through the process and work with them to actually build their idea.
Oh, cool. So what would that be? I have some questions about the board game because that's very cool,
Yeah,
but what would that be like your commission, I mean your consult your commission, whatever you said, the design thing. Would
yeah.
that be like I have an idea for like obviously like a phone case you could do, but like yeah, just what is that? What does that mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It basically, I just wanted to learn a lot from working on different projects. So I basically wouldn't say no
Mm-hmm.
to any projects. So it took all kinds of different shapes. Like some of them would be someone wants to like make a special gift for their brother for their birthday and wanted like a Batman head shaped dice roller or something like that. Or other ones would
Okay,
be
gotcha.
like I had another project where it was a an expert witness working with like a law firm who they wanted to create a 3D replication of this site for the trial so they could show the jury like what exactly happened. And so they had me like 3D model and 3D print copies of everything in the scene so they could build like a 3D replica.
Cool. That's really cool. How did you get started with this? Like and how do you even market something like that? How do you find your first clients for something like that, you know?
Yeah. Um, it's kind of just started with like word of mouth. Like if I'd hear someone would refer me, because like to everyone I know, I'm the guy that knows a lot about 3D printers and how
Nice.
to make things. And so I'd
Uh-huh.
get like a referral where it's like a friend of my brother's would be like, "Hey, I heard you could maybe help me make this thing." And then it spread more through the maker space where I was working. So I was working at my college library has a maker space with all kinds of like 3D printers and sewing machines and stuff that people can come in and
Hmm.
use. And basically, whenever someone would come in and be like, "Hey, can you help me make this thing?" and they couldn't help, like it was outside of their area, they would just give them my email and say, "Hey, there's this guy that works here that does
Dude,
commissions."
that's
So,
sick. Yeah.
yeah,
So very grassroots. That's awesome.
yeah.
Um, Man, I'm sure you built a lot of cool stuff, but so tell us about the board game. Um, what kind of game was it? Was it more strategy? Was it skill? Was there like some RNG mixed in there? You know, like how'd the board game work?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There were a couple that
Okay.
I built over the summer. My first one, my first idea. So, when you go to the restroom, there are stalls that you do not take. Like, you'd never take the urinal right next to another guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, we all
Mm-hmm.
know that this is just like, it's just something that guys know.
Yeah.
Like, no one teaches you that. You just
Yeah,
know.
you don't have to learn it. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, if you told it,
So
yeah.
I thought that was kind of a funny concept that I realized like I was talking with my wife and she's like, "What? Like how do you guys all know this?" And we're like, "I don't know, we just know." But I kind of had the
Yeah,
idea
right.
it's kind of like a chess game. Like if a guy like takes the one on the end and there are a couple
Yep.
others, if you take the one in
Yeah.
the middle, then you could block someone from going like to an ideal spot. So,
Totally. Yeah, I know what you're saying, yeah.
yeah. So I built out a full game called Stalled based on that idea where you basically have like a little bathroom set up with like urinals and your little guys you're trying to move through. And it's
Nice,
kind of like
yeah.
a chess strategy game where you're trying to move your guys through the restroom, but try to like block the other player so they can't move their guys through by like choosing the right stalls and stuff like that.
Yeah. So do you just have like a set of five guys that each spawn in and then they kind of stay when they're done with their lives, like where they're at, you know? Or is it gonna be
You
too hard
basically
to
you cycle
explain?
them through. Um,
Okay.
Actually, if you have this, I can grab the game. It's right here.
No, please. I got, I got time. Yeah, I got time today, so please show
Yeah,
me all
yeah.
this cool
Okay.
stuff. So where did you do your not missionary work, but your service work? Was it
Yeah. So
overseas?
I actually stayed local. I did a
Okay.
little bit in Boston. So I'm from Utah. I did a little bit in Boston, and then I came back and I just lived at home in Utah, and then did work around there at like various places. One of the main things I was doing was um, 3D modeling and animation of religious artifacts. So we would like make videos about like the Bible and the Book of Mormon, and a lot of people are like visual learners, so it's hard for them to just read and understand. And so we would make like realistic 3D models and renderings that we could like animate, and so we could make videos so people can better understand like what is the Ark of the Covenant? What did that actually look like? And so I would do research on whatever historical documents we have and then build like a 3D model and texture it and like animate it.
So what other stuff did you guys do? Like the Ark of the Covenant, I would have guessed. What other stuff did you
Yeah,
guys like model, you know?
we did all kinds of stuff. Projects I worked on personally, I did the Ark of the Covenant. I did Moses's brazen serpent. I did a lot of like pottery restorations from like some Jerusalem sites, where
Cool.
they would have just like little fragments, and then I would try to, based on those images, create like here's what it would have looked like, here's what we know, and then make like a
Mhm.
a recreation.
Nice. That's very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, can you show us your board game though? You know, or show
yeah, I got
us
it. Okay, so this is the box for stalled. You just slide these parts off the top. So this is like the bathroom floor,
yeah, I can tell.
and then in the box here, got all the different pieces. You've got sinks. We've got like restroom stalls,
Yeah.
and we've got urinals. So you basically just put these all onto the grid, and so you can arrange like a different restroom layout for every game, depending on how many people you're
Oh,
playing with and
nice.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you have your little guys that you're trying to move through. And then this is the part that gets a lot of people. To mark when you're moving a guy in, you got this, which is a pee token. So if your guy has to pee, you put that on, and then you've got your
Yeah.
guy. And so you move him in, and then you pull him off. And then we got number 1 and number 2 as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what the stalls are for. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
So you're trying to move your guys in, and then each round you get to like remove one of these and collect it. And see, it's kind of a weird concept, but like the gameplay was pretty fun. It's kind of
Totally.
iconic enough to get views, but you
Yeah.
keep track of your points on these plungers. So you have your score
Nice,
plunger,
dude.
and then as you collect these from your characters, you're basically just dropping on here, and you have to fill up your plunger to win.
Are the doo-doos too? Are they double the urines or
Yeah,
no?
they're double.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome.
Yeah,
Um, dude, nice. Yeah, see, you can tell, because a lot of people come with clever stuff, but like you also got that knack to like put it on a plunger. You know what I mean? Like the
yeah,
taste the
yeah,
small little things like that. That's awesome. So
yeah.
that
And
one you
then you
never
got
tried to sell? Was that one just more for? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, show us the.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry.
So
The actual
then
gameplay.
basically the last aspect is the cards. So you have cards that you can play as part of your turn that do different things. So you've got like glare, which if someone moves into a stall right next to you, you play glare, and you're like
Yeah.
glaring at them, and it forces them back out.
Uh huh.
We've got like soda cards that let you like fill up a bladder.
Yeah.
Um, we've got old man, which you play in response. If someone glares at you, you play old man back at them because they're like, you can't get mad at an old man for
Yeah. Okay,
taking
that's what
forever
I
in the
thought. Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, just funny stuff like that, where I could just kind of take something that everyone kind of knows and gamify it a little bit.
Can you show us real quick how do you need? Can you show us real quick like how the gameplay would be, or would that be too complicated to do on camera? You
Yeah,
know.
I could do like I'll do the simple version. Um,
Um. Yeah. Because the way I'm picturing
so
my head, I just want to see if I got it.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so basically, you start off, you just build your restroom layout. So you're just going to take these, and they kind of slot onto the tiles here. So I might set up here with, let's say I wanted 3 urinals in a stall.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to put a sink over here. So we got the restroom set up ready to go. Then on my turn, I would get to take 3 actions. So in this case, I could add a couple of guys to the restroom. I'm going to add a guy that needs to pee. I can put him in an open stall. My second action, I'm going to add another guy. And then my last action, I'm going to add a pooper and add him in here.
Yeah.
And then the next person would go, and then they're going to add their own guys, bring them in, and they'll basically put them in line. Or if
Okay.
there's an open stall, they can claim the stall.
Yeah.
And then my turn would come around. Any guys I have at the front of the line, I get to then collect, add it to my plunger, and then I move them over to the sink. And I can spend an action, have them wash their hands, and that's how you get to draw cards, is by washing your hands. So I'm trying to encourage good behavior here, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so after they're done, so you guy at the front of the line. After the turn ends, you get the points off because the guy relieves himself, and then
Yep,
also automatically in that same turn, does he go wash his hands? Or is that the next turn?
that's the next turn. So he just
That's the
move to
next.
the
Okay.
sink. And you could
And
even, that's one of the things you can glare at, is if someone does not wash their hands, if they don't want to spend an extra turn and just want to collect their guy, they can pull him out without washing his hands. But if someone glares at you for that,
yeah.
then you lose a point.
Oh, you lose a point for glaring. So you lose one of the P rings for glaring. If you get
Yeah,
glared at, I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Dude, nice. So it's not just like tic-tac-toe, like there's actual like strategy
Yeah,
and
there's
like
actual strategy, and like you can play with four people. So you could set up a bigger restroom, and then you're trying to figure out like, hey, when's this guy gonna get out of line? Or you could try to like one strat is just clog all the toilets. Like get your guys in all the toilets and just don't take them out for forever.
yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah,
that. But wait, but I mean you'd filter out after the next round, right? Because you just put all your guys in a line for the toilet, you mean, right? Or no?
yeah, you can put them in line, but like in the stall specifically, you've got to spend an action to flush to collect it.
Oh,
So
okay. So
you
you can
could,
just sit
some
there.
people go on and just like sit on their phone for
Yeah,
forever.
exactly.
Like
Yep.
you could just go block those all up so the other guys can't go through.
Nice. But you can't do that for the urinals, right? Urinals you have to pass through, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So are you selling these at all? Because yeah.
not yet. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Part of it was it's tricky to make. It's a lot of parts. Like there's all the different little pieces and stuff.
Eh,
So
okay.
if I was trying to manufacture, I would either have to manufacture myself with like 3D printing, which then it's just so many parts to pull together for something that I wouldn't want to sell for that much. Versus something
Yeah.
like Linderball is it's like one object
Yeah.
that I can print quicker, and so it's better time wise, more realistic for now.
Yeah. Nice.
So
Okay,
I do
nice.
want to launch it at some point,
Yeah.
but um, now's not the time.
How much do you think you could sell them for? Or like really roughly, you know?
Yeah, usually a game like this with like a lot of pieces, and a fun gimmick, it's tricky because if I market it with similar size, similar level games, could be around
Yeah.
like $40,
Oh,
even
okay,
upwards of
cool.
like 50 for some of the like really popular ones. But if I want it to be like an impulse buy, then I got to get it below 20, which is really tough.
Yeah. Okay. Um, okay, that's not bad. $40 isn't bad.
Yeah.
I thought it might be like $80 or something crazy, and I was like, oh, I can't even.
Nah.
I'm not even gonna buy that if it comes
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
You know. That's so.
And like
Wait, so was?
I come from
Oh, go
the
ahead.
I was just gonna say I come from the perspective of like I'm a poor college student, and so I really
Yeah.
I'm not trying to I don't want to put anything for a price that I wouldn't be willing to pay for it myself.
Mm-hmm. Um, was your dad an entrepreneur? You seem very just like with it to not have like some sort of influence in your environment that was like encouraging you to be with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad wasn't necessarily an entrepreneur. I think he had like one business, one consulting thing he did, but definitely was very like business minded, and
Okay.
um, I think something we did get from my dad, like me and my siblings, is kind of the opposite of imposter syndrome. Like a lot of people think like, oh, I don't belong here. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing. Everyone else knows what they're going on. For some reason, like in my family, we just kind of have the opposite of that, where I think like, yeah, no one really knows what's going on, but like I could probably figure it out as well as anyone. So might as well just dive in and do it.
Nice. Nice. That's a very good outlook to have. And I kind of have that too. I still have imposter syndrome a
Yeah,
lot, but I still kind
yeah,
I like I agree. Like no one really knows what they're doing. I feel like you kind of realize that when you get older, you become an adult. You're like, yeah, no one really knows what they're doing, you know. Um, yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but okay, yeah. So I was just very curious about all the stuff you got going on. Can you tell us about Linderball? You know, so how old? Yeah, how old were you when you came up with this? Where did you do it when you were in college? Or was this an idea you kind of like slept on for a while and then just kind of like took action on? You know?
yeah. It's actually a pretty recent project. So it was the same class where I made this metal table. We also learned how to make
Oh,
Nerf
okay.
footballs out of like expanding foam, where we take like a two-part football mold, we like mix the stuff together, pour it in, clamp it together, then we like foam up and fill the mold. And I sucked at it. Like the first one I made was garbage. Like I didn't mix it right, and it was just like an absolute mess, and I had to like scrape it out. And for me, I take that as like a challenge of like, okay, I'm gonna figure out how to actually do this right. So I did
Yeah.
my next one, and it also sucked. Like it had a hole missing from the backside. And then finally, I was like, okay, I'm going to figure out how to do this. I finally figured it out, got the mixture just right, didn't panic while trying to like cast it, and then like got it to come out good. And I was like, all right, cool. I've kind of figured this out. Now, this is just a regular football. I feel like I could make something more fun, more entertaining to throw around. So I started with the idea of making kind of like a tube shape. Because I'd made paper airplanes like that as a kid, and they fly really well. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I was envious of the kids that could make those. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Go ahead.
So I
Sorry.
kind of
I mean,
I kind of started with that, and it started just for that class. So this was like 2 semesters ago, like 6 months ago. I started with that idea and made my own design, like 3D printed a mold for it, and did a couple of iterations to make like the first version for that class. And actually took it for the final project of that class. I had to just choose something and kind of go for it. So I was like, hey, this ball is kind of fun. I want to build this out more, see if I could like refine the design and like make it into a full sport. So started with that class about 6 months ago.
okay. But Linderball is not foam. I didn't have time to buy one in time before
Yeah.
could talk to you. But Linderball is like a rubber. It's like a more dense rubber, right?
No, it is a foam. It's kind
Oh, it
of
is.
in
Oh,
between. So it's made out of a material called TPU, which I think it's
okay. Yeah.
thermopolyurethane or something.
Yeah.
It's used a lot in like phone cases, and like shoe midsoles, stuff like that. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
tough stuff, but it is specifically a foaming TPU. So it is not quite like a super squishy foam, but like you can feel here, like I can definitely squish that. Like it is
Oh, okay.
definitely foam feeling,
Okay, yeah. So a little
which
more than
was
like a dog toy you would expect that would look like
yeah,
that. It's a little softer, yeah.
yeah. It's
Okay.
definitely softer, and that was part of what I wanted. Is I wanted something that you could throw indoors, because like my
Oh,
wife and I,
okay, cool.
yeah, we just got a small apartment, and in the winter we would like toss around a dryer ball, um, and like we liked that, but I feel like there could be something better, like something that's still fun to throw even if you only have short range,
Yeah.
and it's just fun to like toss something around and talk. So I
Yeah.
wanted something that was like light and soft enough that you
Yeah.
could throw it at things and it's not going to break anything in your house.
Wait, so is that actually true? The whole like origin story, where like you and your wife or your fiance like to, so you guys will just like have fun, just like toss stuff around as you're talking in the house, and you guys would do that with like a dryer ball type thing.
Yeah. So we would like on
Okay.
making this, I was thinking back to when we were like engaged. And
Mm-hmm.
one of my like best memories from when we were engaged was we were at a family reunion. She was like meeting the whole family, and it's kind of intimidating. Like there's a lot of people there. I'm from
For
Utah. I've
sure.
got a big family. And
Yeah.
we found a little time to just go outside. We found a football and we were out there for like 2 hours just throwing it back and forth and talking the whole time. And I think there are a couple of times like that I remember where we just have such good conversations and can connect so well when we've got something to toss back and forth, because you've got to focus on each other and the ball and nothing else. Because if you're
Yeah.
like on your phone and you're playing catch, then you get hit in
Yeah.
the face
It's
with
gonna.
something. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that really was like what it started from. Is I wanted to make something for us, like that we could toss around so
Nice.
we can connect. And also I tend to get like I'll get bored with regular things. Like I like a football, but like it's just you just throw it the same way every time. So I
Yeah.
wanted something that like keeps you engaged. Even if you're a beginner, it's easy to throw, but if you have been throwing it for forever, it's still fun.
Yeah. No, totally. So how'd you settle on the shape, and then also how'd you settle on the indents to be curved like that, you know?
Yeah. So basically a lot of trial and error. I made dozens of
Were you 3D
prototypes.
printing these yourselves, or were you like having factories make them for you?
Yeah, it was all me.
Oh,
So I
okay,
was
nice.
doing some of them I was 3D printing, some of them I would 3D print a mold and then do the like expanding foam inside the mold. Um, and so I basically
Oh,
just
okay.
I could make a new one every day or make a couple a day so I could change it super quickly. Like that's the benefit of like 3D printing is I didn't have to send out to a factory, wait weeks to hear
Uh-huh.
back and then get a shipment. I could just make a slight tweak, start it printing, and then 2 hours later, I have a new prototype to test.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the material it's made out of now, is that similar to the material you worked on in class? Or
Yeah,
no?
yeah. It
Really?
feels pretty similar actually. Because
Is it
I,
is
I
it
actually
manufactured in the same way, where you just like mix a couple things together and it expands inside a thing?
no. So that was what
Okay.
I thought I was going to go with because I had tested with 3D printing, and I had
Hmm.
tested with the foam in the mold. And the foam in the mold definitely, like, it was better because it was softer, it was more what you would expect. And the 3D printed ones, like, they're more plasticky, so it's tougher. Um,
Hmm.
but when I finally, like, I started getting sales, I was like, this, I can't keep up casting these in a mold. Like, it takes too long. It's super messy too, the process, and they aren't as
Okay.
consistent. Like, sometimes they'll get weighted too far to one side, or there'll be bubbles and
Yeah.
stuff. And so I was like, okay, let's see if we can make this fully 3D printed. So then it's exactly the same every time, and I can dial it in perfectly with the weight I want and the feel. So I kept looking around. I finally found a material that is a 3D printable foam that has that same kind of feel. Like, it's a little bit stiffer, which gives it
Hmm.
a little more bounce, a little more solid feel, but it's still soft enough and light enough that it works great.
Um. Okay. Cool. When you hit it with like a paddle, does it feel like you're hitting rubber though? It's not like super soft, like you're hitting one of those like lame foam baseballs, right? Like you get some like oomph behind it.
Yeah, yeah. It is. It's honestly, it's pretty soft. Like, you can hit it with a pickleball paddle, and like if you hit a baseball with a pickleball paddle, you're gonna break your pickleball paddle. This, it
Yeah.
was. I wanted it to be more for the short to mid range, not like a long range game.
Oh, okay.
So because like there's already like wiffle balls, and there's already like Nerf footballs you can throw far. I wanted something that's
Hmm.
more like more inviting and friendly, where it's
Yeah.
not going to go flying for forever.
Yeah.
So
I know what you
you can
mean.
still
Yeah.
get a solid hit with it, but you can hit it with whatever, and it like still works great.
Yeah. Okay. Um. But when you hit it, doesn't feel like it feels like you're hitting something significant. It doesn't just feel like you're hitting one of those like pure foam, like super light balls from gym class, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You see what I'm
it's got
saying?
more to
Okay.
it than that,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
it still
Okay.
is. It's pretty lightweight, so
It's
you
soft. Yeah.
can you can swing for the fences with it, and it's not gonna
Sure.
hurt
Yeah.
anything. But
Okay. Nice. Oh, one of the questions was like, what are you kind of pursuing of your life outside of this? But I guess you're still in school. Is this going to be what you do as soon as you graduate? Like you're just gonna, kind of head down with this and then see what else, what other businesses come up, basically. You know?
yeah, so that's always been the idea for me. Is
Yeah. Same.
college is a great idea to learn about a bunch of different things. Like, I want to learn how to run a business. I want to learn how to weld and code and like
Yeah.
make anything. But I wanted to use it as a jumping off point, where my idea was always I was going to stay in school until I had something taking off enough that I could switch full time from
Mm-hmm.
to running that. And so I'm about to that point, like I'm getting there with this, where I've got like one more semester of
Nice.
classes I'm going to try to blitz through, and then I can just fully jump off that and put all my time into this.
Yeah. Are you guys like making money? Like, is a company like Turn a Profit and is making money with Linderball?
Yeah, that's been part of the benefit of doing everything myself and having the background that
Yeah.
I do. Is for most people, they would still be trying to find someone that could help them make a prototype, and then try to contact
Yeah.
a
Right.
factory
Yeah. Totally.
and all of that, where they're like, okay, sorry, we need to get investors and we need to get capital so we can make a prototype, and so then we can maybe get a factory, and then we can start like
Yeah.
advertising and stuff, and then that puts them like years down the road from when they come
Yeah.
up with the idea to actually selling anything. For me, I don't have that kind of time. I don't have that kind of
Mm-hmm.
patience. I'm like, can I get this onto the market within a month? Like,
Yeah.
I put up a couple of videos, started getting sales, and was like, hey, now I guess I got to figure out how to make this. And within 3 days, I had just started rolling them off my printers and shipping them. So
Nice. So within
I
3 days, the market feedback was like, "Yeah, this we love this thing. Like this is
yeah,
crazy."
yeah,
Nice.
it was kind of a
Awesome.
crazy like check to. I basically just recorded a couple of videos. I just threw them up on a blank social media page that I had made,
Was
and
it TikTok or
one
what was the platform?
I did Instagram and TikTok,
Okay.
and overnight, one of my videos got 2 million views.
Holy
So
cow,
all of
dude.
a sudden,
Oh
I
my
was like, wait,
God.
this is, I didn't know, I wasn't expecting this. I don't know what to do now. I gotta start figuring this out. Like even
Yeah.
when I posted that, I hadn't even connected my site yet. Like I hadn't even put a way for people to buy it yet.
Right?
And I woke up the next morning with 1 million views, and I'm like, oh shoot, there are people looking for this. People want to buy this, but they don't
Yeah.
have a way to buy it yet. So
Yeah.
basically, I just had to go real quick and figure out how to connect it, how to set up my site, how to run a Shopify store, how to ship orders, um, and had to just blitz through all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
so I've been making profit since day one. Like as soon as I posted videos, I started. Excuse
So how are you making the first ones? Were you just 3D print them in your house, you know?
Yeah. All of them have been just that. Like I've
So
just
these
been,
are 3D printed, but
yeah,
they don't have like the lines on them, do they? Like
yeah,
the
yeah,
obvious 3D printing lines on them, you know?
yeah. A lot of people are hesitant when they hear something's 3D printed because for
Yeah.
them, like it kind of has a connotation now of like, oh, fidget toys and like
Yeah,
little
like a lame
gimmicky
dragon
things.
toy that breaks,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
So it kind of gets a bad rap. And so that's why I honestly have been hesitant to talk about my manufacturing process
Oh,
because
okay, yeah.
people will think that I don't want people to think that it's like, oh, it's just a cheap plastic toy.
Mm-hmm.
And if I say, oh, it's 3D printed, that's what a lot of people think. But
Mm-hmm.
if you actually feel it, you don't see
Yeah.
any layer lines. It doesn't feel 3D printed. Like it's not
No,
like a
not at
cheap
all.
plastic. Like this is
Yeah.
tough and like it's strong. Like I cannot tear this thing apart. So basically, I'm hesitant to tell people, but anyone that has actually touched one and held it, they
Uh-huh.
don't care that it's 3D printed because they felt it. Like it feels good. It feels solid. Like it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like a cheap plastic toy.
So was this a printer that you already owned, or did you have to buy this whole new setup in order to make this thing? You know?
Yeah, I was just using printers I already had. Um, I
So you had
had,
a printer that could make this TPU rubber type material? Because I can kind of
yeah,
picture it. You had a printer that
yeah,
could
yeah.
print that already?
I already had one of those. You can
Oh,
print
okay.
it on regular 3D printers. It's just a really tough filament to work with. So it's very finicky. The settings have to be like dialed in perfectly to get any kinds of good results with it.
Okay. I guess I just didn't know that. Um, sorry, I was looking it up to like kind of get an idea. But
Yeah,
no, that's awesome. I know you could 3D print stuff like that. I literally thought 3D printing was just like the hard plastic and that was about it. I didn't
yeah,
even know you could do like these other materials, you know?
yeah.
Um,
Most people don't know. So
mhm.
that's why I also don't want to tell people it's 3D printed right off the bat because they will base that off what they already think of 3D printing. And so they won't think
Mhm.
like, oh, it's a foam ball. They'll think, oh, it's like cheap plastic.
Mhm. That's what I kind of would have thought, honestly. Um, yeah, okay. So, again, one of the questions was, the story came from playing catch. Did it really come that way? But I believe you that that's awesome. That you and your fiance at the time were just playing catch, and you're like, hey, I need to make a cooler thing to play catch with inside. That's very cool.
Yeah.
What did the first prototypes look like? Were they even hollow? Yeah, what the first prototypes look like?
Yeah. Here, I can grab one from the next
Please,
room.
yes. I love
I've got
seeing
a,
stuff like this. Yeah.
let's see. Okay, so this was the first successful prototype. It was a casted foam, so I like 3D printed a 2-part mold here, put the foam
Okay.
inside, let it set, and then like would twist it apart. And you can see it actually hasn't changed all that much from the original to here. I've done a lot of like dialing things in, but the same basic shape is there, the same basic idea. And honestly, I just kind of got lucky. A lot of my designs I'll spend a lot longer from an initial idea to figure out how it actually works. This one, I really just got lucky. Like I made the initial design and tried it out
Yeah.
and it worked really well. And then I spent a long time trying to make it better. And almost nothing I did made it any better. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything would make it worse. Like I'd make it a
Yeah.
little bigger, a little smaller, a little denser, a little thicker. And none of those were actually as good as the original one I made. I was like, how
Mm-hmm.
did this happen? Like, how did I just like hit it on the head the first time?
Do you think do you think in your life sometimes when like you hit something creative like that, it is kind of like that? It's just like I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like you don't want to change it. Not that you don't want to
Yeah,
change
yeah.
it, but it's just like all of a sudden, just like 90% perfect, and you don't even want to touch it that much. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes it's almost scary of like, wait, how did
Uh
I
huh.
get this good? I feel like if I touch anything, I'm gonna ruin
Uh
it.
huh.
But it's a scary perspective, but it's like it's not real. It keeps you from making things better. But the way I like to think of it
Mm-hmm.
is some things want to exist and some things don't want to exist. And sometimes something will like pull you toward it feels like as you're making it, it's pulling you towards something that already should exist.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I felt that way with this. Like I felt that
Totally.
it's something that is simple enough that it seems like maybe it should already exist, but it doesn't, and it worked well enough. Whereas I've had other projects that like fight me at every turn. That's like everything I've tried to do is not working, and this thing does not
Mm-hmm.
want to exist.
Yeah. Um. How many versions? Well, yeah. I mean, one of the questions is how many versions did you go through? But you basically knew you had it like first try. What did you change? Was the prototype a slightly different material it looked like, or no? Was it the same material?
Yeah. So the original one is it's actually made of the same material, just a different process of working with it. So this was
Okay.
also like a polyurethane foam. Um,
Okay.
for the original, but it's solid foam all the way through, like a Nerf football would be. Whereas for the final one, very similar, but it does have, as you would expect with a 3D print, it's not solid all the way through. It has a pattern on the inside that gives it its kind of the bounce, like it gives it just
Oh
the right amount
yeah.
of squish.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Um, that's cool that that kind of like works out. Um, yeah. Why cylindrical and why hollow? Those are two pretty significant. You know, why'd you go with those two things? Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted something different. There are already a bunch
Mm-hmm.
of balls, there are Nerf footballs, there's stuff like that. But I wanted something that flies different. Like I love frisbees and that kind of thing where you can get a float on it, but I wanted something that worked in a bunch of different ways. And so I was trying to experiment with combining. Honestly, I didn't even think about the different ways it could fly initially. I just was thinking like the paper airplane, like see if it can catch the wind like
Yeah.
this. And then
Yeah.
we started playing, and as we were playing with it, someone would then throw it like top down like that instead,
Yeah.
and it would fly different. And then I ended up throwing it like off the edge like that, and then it like curved through the air. And I
Mm-hmm.
started to realize like, okay, this actually works because there are different angles to come at it from that have different effects. Where if it's going straight that way, it'll float. If it's going that way, it'll the ridges catch the air and it'll like rise. And if
Yeah.
it's going like that, then it will like curve through the air. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. But a lot of it was the paper airplane, like the for the original shape, or
Yeah, there
was
were
that
a
just
couple
had
things
to
like
say?
that, like the paper airplane, like red solo cups.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever like tried to throw a red solo cup or like spun it, you kind
Yeah.
of get a funny
Yeah.
a way
I
that it
totally. Yeah.
flies. Um, Paper towel tubes, like an empty paper towel roll, same kind of thing. And I've heard from a lot of people that did the same thing, like they take one of those and throw it around. So a
Yeah.
combination of those things.
Nice, dude. Okay. Um, Oh, okay.
It's
So
all
the
right.
lines
I've
on
got
it.
time for like
Uh,
one or two more questions, if that's all right.
yeah, no, I know, man. Okay. I guess just tell us how you come up with the lines on it. What made you come up with the lines on this thing, and how you shaped them that way.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the lines for the spiral, so it's got them on the inside and on the outside.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna ask how you come up with them, but no, that's fine. A couple things, real quick. I'll rapid fire a few questions for you if that's cool.
Yeah,
Is this
go ahead.
patent pending? Did you bother getting a patent on this, or are you not too worried about that?
Yes, I got patent pending status within the first couple of weeks, just because it's such a simple idea and it works so well that I wanted to be able to defend that and be able to
Yeah.
launch like a quality brand with this and not just
And
get
how
ripped
much was
off.
that? Can I ask to like how much you spent? A couple grand to get the patent pending
Yeah,
status? Okay.
I actually filed myself, so I spent a lot of time. I used a lot of AI, did a lot of research, and did the whole process myself
Good for
because
you, man.
lawyers were quoting me $10,000 to get stuff in, and I don't have that kind of money. Like I'm still a college student. I just
Awesome, man.
started off, so I basically just spent a whole Saturday doing a ton of research, getting everything perfect, and submitted my own.
Yeah.
It was around, I think a couple $100 just to file.
For the fees and stuff. That's awesome. So
Yeah,
you can get patent pending for a couple $100 then if you really put your nose down and figure it out yourself then.
yeah.
People out
Like
there.
even cheaper if you fill out the right forms as a like a small business and stuff, and you just figure it out yourself. Like there are a bunch of like things you got to jump through, and it is definitely kind of a lot to do for the first time. But
Hmm.
like I figured it out. I've never done anything legal, and not to say I do illegal things, but I've never done
Yeah.
anything with like legal work, and
Yeah, I
like
know.
I figured
Yeah.
it out in a Saturday and saved myself a lot of money.
A few more questions. I mean, like three more questions. That's it. What's your
Yeah,
favorite game to play with Linderball? Yeah.
my favorite game to play with Linderball is one I've not released yet.
Oh, okay,
So
that's fine.
kind of the vision is to not just have one ball, but to have a game system that you can play 100 different games with.
Okay.
So it starts with just the ball, and then there are going to be goals that you can get that go with it. And the goals, they're kind of like Quidditch hoops. If you've ever seen Harry Potter,
Yeah.
um, so it's like a ring on a tripod that you can throw the ball through to play a bunch of different games. And one of my favorites is a game where you're basically trying to throw the ball through the ring. If you get it through, you get a point. But if your teammate catches it on the other side, you get 3 points. And so it's
Okay.
almost got like a basketball type feel of the player
Hmm.
movement, but with a little bit of baseball with like pitching it through and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally. And this is all in the game library that you guys have, right? Which is on your website,
Yep.
available to anyone. Dude, one thing I used to think about when I was younger is like, what's the ideal sport? Now I kind of like put together like virtues in my phone. Actually, I have a note of like, it has
Yeah.
to be cheap. It has to be like be able to play it from one like a few people to a lot of people. Linderball kind of
Yeah.
hits a lot of those boxes.
That's that's the question I
Yeah.
was going for. Like honestly, that was the big so like I wanted to design the ball initially for me and my wife. But
Hmm.
once I got the ball, I wanted to design a game that filled the issues with all the existing games where it requires an exact number of people and exact setups. You can't play it all the time. You
Hmm.
can't play it with like if you got an odd number, then you're screwed. So
Yep. Yeah, yeah, like I said, I'm just personally like super interested in this. I think this is awesome. A
thanks.
couple of yeah, we're actually almost done, but a few years from now, what do you think Linderball looks like? Do you want to like exit this company, or do you just like think this is like such a cool idea? You want to just keep doing this forever, you know?
I think I always want to stay involved in some way. I think
Mhm.
ideally I would run it for a couple of years, get the brand to the spot I'm looking for with the right
Totally.
values of connection and creativity. And then I would probably like stay on board of directors,
Yeah.
but let other people run it so I can pursue other ideas. Because like I
Totally.
can
Yeah.
come up with an idea a day. I've got so many things I want to
Do
build
you
and
do an
ways I want
idea
to
a day?
impact
Because I know a
people.
lot of people try to do that, write down an idea a day, or do you just kind of let them come to you and then write them down type thing?
A combination. I don't have like a strict regiment,
Yeah.
but I'll often come up with something and then just spend a day or two flushing it out and testing
Have
it
you read
or
any
just
books
write
about
down.
that kind of help you, or you just kind of have that mind? Because I'm both ways, but
Yeah, I had mind, and then I've read books since then that kind of validated how I already functioned.
Okay.
There
Any
wasn't
big
like a
major ones
book.
or not really that you think we should all read?
There's a book called Creative Confidence I really liked that talks
Okay.
about a lot of that stuff. Um, and the power. Oh no, it's called The Third Door. Was another one that had a pretty big impact on me.
By Alex, like the guy that goes on the Jeopardy game,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
no?
that guy.
Yes, I love that book. I love that
Yeah,
book, dude. Yeah, I love that
like
book.
that kind
I
of
could
validated
tell
my
that, like,
whole. Yeah,
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
my whole like idea about how I want to run my life was partially inspired by that book of like, if I wait for someone to tell me my idea is good and give me money, then I'm going to be waiting a long time. But if
Yeah.
I go and just make it happen, then like get myself in.
Yeah. Totally. All right. So last few questions, I just kind of like to ask everyone on the show. One of them was, yeah, what is your favorite book? So like, if you have a favorite book of all time, or maybe a couple favorite books. Yeah.
Yeah. I was a big reader growing up, and so a lot of my favorites are like dear to my heart from childhood. There's the movie How to Train Your Dragon has a book series that it was based on by Krista Cowell.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I loved those books growing up because the main character, like, he was me. He's like a skinny, redheaded dude who
Mhm.
is clever and like likes to make things. And
Mhm.
so I loved those books growing up, and they were a big part of how I became me.
Nice. Okay. What about favorite movie, specifically one that's like or I mean anything, but maybe one that's more like inspiring or like makes you want to be successful, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Childhood favorite movie for the same kind of reasons. Meet the Robinsons.
Oh, okay.
It's a lesser known Disney classic about
Yeah.
a crazy skinny redheaded kid who
Yeah, I know, yeah.
invents time travel and creates the future.
No, I know,
And it
yeah.
has the mantra of keep pressing forward, keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been like a big personal inspiration for me.
Yeah. I like that scene where he's like, you were just blah 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 blah, and all you had to do was just keep pushing forward.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie. All right, last two questions. What's your favorite like song or artist that kind of inspires you? Maybe like a specific song if you have it, but like musically, what's something that like inspires you type thing? you know?
Yeah, there's a band called Wolfpack that they're kind of a funk band. Basically, every guy on that band is just a sensational musician, and they just make music that speaks to my soul. It's like as I'm going to work or working on a project, I always listen to the song "Wait for the Moment"
Okay.
because it just like it brings me to center, kind of calms me down. Definitely worth a listen. And their music's just like it's upbeat, it's happy, but it's not like trying to drive you crazy.
Yeah. Volva Pack with a V, like Victor.
Yeah, VULF.
Okay. Oh, okay. Same. I see him. Okay. Awesome. Um. All right. Oh, and then, well, was there anything else that like you think we should have covered? Like any questions I should have asked you that you'd like to share about Linderball, or anything like that? Yeah.
No, I think that was great. Like, got a good
Yeah.
coverage of a lot of different things, and I think it's a story that's still writing itself. So I don't know what direction it's going to
Totally.
go yet.
Yeah, and I really do appreciate you, giving me your time and hopping on this. But okay, just last question, if you have one, like, what's your favorite quote? I mean, it can be from like poetry or from scripture, from a movie or from a song or from anything, but like just any like little snippet. What's your favorite quote if you have one?
Yeah. Hmm.
You take your time. I'm not
I
gonna
think
rush you.
one quote that I had a entrepreneurship professor that was impactful on me that he would always say at the beginning of class is build your dreams or someone else will pay you to build theirs. So I don't know who the quote's originally by, but like you can either spend your whole life helping someone else create their dreams and adding value to someone else, or you can just put in the extra time and work to build your own dreams.
Yeah, 100%. I really like that quote. Um, all right, Ryan, thank you so much, for hopping on the podcast. We really appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys in the next one.